Welcome back to another reaction of Bad Batch of Season 3. We're on the final, or the second to last episode, and as you guys can tell, we're all together. We're back again. The boys have been gone for 3.5 months, and we're finally together before we're probably not going to be back for another 3.5 months. So we decided to make the best of it and join together. So I'm excited to have Jason and Jake back with us here. So so let's just get right into it. Biggest thing that we want to talk about, I guess we're going to talk about the episode, but there's some crazy things that happen towards the end of it, and I'm excited to see what your guys' thoughts are. So let's jump in and just get some overall, just general feelings and general thoughts. This is the second to last episode, guys. We have one more episode left. Like, what are your guys' thoughts? What are you guys thinking about right now?
I mean, all I'll say is, they really teased us in Ahsoka. They teased us again in Bad Batch. I thought we were going to get AP5 in this episode right from the start. I was like, bro, don't tell me they got AP5 here. But it wasn't. No, I thought it was overall reaction, great episode. I liked the pacing of it. I liked the action. It feels like something's actually happening in the show now. Obviously, this season hasn't felt a ton like filler to us. It feels like the plot's been moving along, but I feel like in this episode we saw a lot with Echo and Emery, as well as the Bad Batch kind of getting to Tantis, and as well some of Omega's discoveries towards the end of the episode. So I personally thought it was a pretty strong episode. But
yeah. Super strong episode. The Echo Emery dialogue with Echo's entire break into Tantis. And, I mean, Omega's kind of a dog. She kind of is.
That's some boldness.
She balled out.
Yeah.
She did. So, also the Zillow Beast. Little mention right there.
Little tease.
So, we can kind of already speculate on how they're going to break out. But yeah, great episode.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, that was probably one of the strongest points for me was just the dialogue between some of the action, especially with like Rampart and how he's just the coward that he is, but there were some interesting connections between what he was saying with Crosshair, right? And I thought that was very interesting to kind of go back to and be like almost him trying to tempt Crosshair. So we'll get back into that, but yeah, like as they were saying, like starting off, Bad Batch makes it to Tantis, right? And it kind of cuts to Echo kind of doing things on the ship before they get on, right? Or before he tries to find his way back onto the base. And I thought that was kind of cool because Jake and I were watching it together, and I think both of us kind of had the same thought when Echo's kind of, trying to get all the manifests and stuff, but then he ends up finding the AP droid that was like, no, you guys can't. Like, he can't be here, and he just shoots him and then takes his hand. And so I thought it was like, finally, this is the one thing that we've been asking ever since we found him.
Echo finally got a hand.
Yeah, on Skako Minor. He finally has a hand. And
we don't have to dive into, like, how that works. Because it's like, would that really work? You can just pull the hand off and just plug it, plug and play. I don't know if it's that easy. But I was like, yo, we're here for it. We're here for it.
Well, it felt like he couldn't do anything with the hand. It was
right.
Like,
no, right.
It was just there.
It literally was just like...
Just to cover up.
Yeah, so people don't think that there's just this weird dude without a hand carrying a gun, So
yeah,
it was just a funny little like side piece that all of a sudden he just decides to go get a hand. But I thought that was super cool because he did all of this like he was super covert and all that stuff, and he was doing a lot of cool moves and making sure that like he can stay sneaking onto the base, which I thought was cool that he was able to take a stormtrooper's armor and like started wearing a stormtrooper's armor because we didn't see like. Bad Batch hasn't really done that, right? They either hide themselves as kind of civilians, or they just wear their regular armor or something. But we never see them kind of sneak in. It's kind of like the beginning parts, right? That was kind of like a original trilogy move where they take the stormtrooper armor and use it as kind of like disguise. So I thought that was super cool. I really like that. But kind of going on. I mean, do you guys have any thoughts about that? Anything about Echo's?
Well, I think the only thing I would add to that is I liked that he there was definitely that amount of trust that Hunter and Crosshair and Wrecker had in Echo, and that just kind of speaks to what happens kind of outside of the actual TV show, right? They're going on these missions together, they're doing stuff, and Echo spent so much time away from the Bad Batch, but I did like how all of the Bad Batch in this episode were focused on the same mission, which is getting Omega, right? And you see it from the beginning of the episode when they come out of hyperspace, because you have Hunter and Crosshair and Wrecker, when they detach from the ship, they're like, yo, what's Echo going to do, you know?
Right.
And Hunter's like, he's good. You know, he knows what the mission is. He'll find a way to get off. And then at the same time, too, when they crash down onto the planet, we have the two groups, right? You have Hunter and Rampart, and then Crosshair and Wrecker. And Wrecker's like, oh, we got to find Hunter or whatever. And Crosshair's like, no, he's moving towards you know, where he needs to go. And so I liked that they had that dynamic of, you know, we're centered on the task. And even though Echo's been away from the Bad Batch, they still have the trust in him to complete the mission. And he performed, right?
Right.
So,
well, and I'll continue it on with, like, Omega, right? They trusted Echo to just keep going. Omega they hear the rumbling, and Omega's like, all right, that's my cue.
Yeah.
Go. And, like, she hasn't hesitated once to lead the specimen or try and break out. And somehow, I don't know how she managed to get back into the cell this time.
That was crazy.
I thought there was no way this time. But it was really cool to see, like, how she follows suit as well in that regard of you know, completing the mission. Right.
And I thought that, I totally agree. And I kind of want to go towards that part where, you know, Hunter and Rampart and Crosshair and Wrecker, they crash onto Tantus. They're in the middle of the jungle. And there's this little exchange. I mentioned it at the beginning, but, like, there's this little exchange between Rampart and Crosshair where he was just like, hey, you were just like me at one point, right? I don't know if you guys remember this, but, like, this was something that, like, hit me because he was basically trying to tug at what was left of Crosshair's imperialism, right? And I thought that was super cool, kind of Crosshair just basically shutting him down, be like, no, I've changed. This isn't who I am. Like, the Empire betrayed me. My brothers didn't betray me. Like, he's starting to come to that realization where it's like, because at the beginning it was like, no, you betrayed me. You're the one that left me behind, right? Crosshair was telling this to Hunter, and he's like, but now it's kind of come to this flip where he's like, no, I've come to a clarity. You, Rampart, the Imperials, they betrayed us. You guys, like, I am here for my brothers. I'm here for them, and I trust them. And I thought that was super cool. I don't know if you guys have anything to say about that, but I really liked the dialogue.
Yeah, no, I liked there was a pretty cold comment as well when Rampart is like, oh yeah, you know, good soldiers follow orders, you know? And it's like, I thought that's what you believed. And Crosshair's like, yo, it depends who's given the order, you know? And so I agree. Definitely shows how far Crosshair's come. And I like that part too. He talks a lot about, and this is more to Wrecker, but he said, you know, Omega didn't leave me on Tantus, you know? There's like a brief exchange about that.
Right.
But it's cool to see he does feel that loyalty to Omega, because the last time he was here, Omega was the one who broke him out. You know, they worked together, but, like, she came back for him. And so he's like, yo, we got to get the job done. So I thought, dialogue was strong in this episode.
Yeah,
definitely.
That was super cool. But yeah, I mean, going towards one of the strongest points is Omega's interactions. Well, I guess going towards Echo's interaction with Emery before that, right? I thought that was super cool, and I don't know, Jason, you can take it ahead, but it wasn't something that I expected, but I'm actually really glad that we had it.
Yeah, I loved that Emery called him Echo.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she recognized his arm, and it just was like, okay, so Emery, we knew she had sympathy for Omega and gave her the doll, but now it's like she actually really liked Omega enough to, like, actually, like, pay attention and listen to what she was telling her. And so she knew Echo, she knew about Echo, she knew probably about the rest of Bad Batch, and when Echo responded and was like, oh yeah, here's our actual plan. We're not just breaking Omega out, we're breaking everyone out.
Right.
You know? And I was so glad to hear Emery. First Emery says, like, oh, I was doing my job. And he's like, yeah, I've heard that before.
Right.
Like, every good soldier follows orders, right?
Whatever. Right.
And then, but she obviously said that in a sense of, I'm doing it as, like, Nala Se was doing it.
Right.
I've been just trying to keep it as slow as possible, type thing. And so she's now turned the point on our end. We can see that she's ready to help them escape.
Right.
But, you know, Hemlock has no idea. So it'll be kind of interesting to see how that dynamic moves forward. But Echo, I feel like, is already the most trusting member of the Bad Batch, even more than Wrecker. And so I felt like that was the perfect clone to interact with Emery first.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Crosshair, no shot. Like, that is, she's getting a shot through the chest.
Straight up.
Or at least she's getting knocked unconscious or something.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. He would choose violence for sure.
Yeah, but Echo's the ARC trooper. Echo's the one with the background being a Ray, you know.
Right.
And I just think his reason is past the whole stay together because it's Order 66, right? He got that higher reasoning, I think.
Right.
And so that was a great scene. It was exactly how the fan base wanted to see Emery, I think, and Echo handled it great.
Well, I think, that's what I've been waiting for since the beginning of the season, right? Like, in our episode 1 review, my whole thought process is, Emery's going to be the key in the end, right? She's going to be the make or break point or, like, a potential big ally for Omega or potentially for the Bad Batch, right? At the start of the season, Omega's in prison and, all that stuff. And you think Emery's going to be an ally. And we've been waiting episode after episode to see this change. But she was just kind of stagnant, right? She was just there. Nothing's really happening. And this was the episode that finally, right now, at a glance, right?
Right.
Appears like she's finally made that change. And she's like, I'm here for the clones and I'm here for my brothers, not just here to follow orders and do what the Empire tells us to.
Yeah.
So while it was a long time in the making, I think it was a good payoff in this episode to know, okay, she's on board. We don't really know what the plan is, but she's like, hey, you're going to have to trust me, and that's the only way we're getting through this. So it'll be interesting to see how that unfolds.
Agreed. That is super cool. But now, continue on, kind of towards the end of the episode, we had that interaction with Omega and kind of her, again, like we've seen her take charge with the group of the Force sensitive kids and stuff. And now it's like, okay, things are coming to a head. She was able to kind of scope things out and discovered a super big secret, right? Which we knew that there was something to do with the Zillo Beasts due to interactions, in the last season. And it's going to be, I was waiting for that to come back, and I'm actually super excited to be like, because I knew at the beginning, I mentioned this in one of our other reactions, but I'm like, they're going to have to destroy Tantus, the base somehow, the lab. And I'm like, I'm just wondering to see, are they just going to, plant explosives in their, like, the power core or whatever? Kind of
Death Star practice run, blow it up.
Right. Or so, that would be cool. I'd be okay, yeah.
Zillo Beast gets loose, the only way to take the entire planet out.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm wondering if maybe that's going to be the case where they're just going to let him free and it's just going to go on a rampage and just destroy everything. And that's how it's going to come to be, right? And so
I think if they didn't show Omega watching the Zillo Beast kind of get tortured or kind of get handled, then I would have been more upset because we wouldn't have had a little hint at how the plan is going to be executed, right? Because it would have been like, okay, now they're on the base, and now we get one episode for them to share the plan, execute the plan, and hearts get ripped out. So I think
every member of the Bad Batch dies.
At least
we're having a rogue one
where Omega's getting an idea of how to escape. Right.
And I'm like super ready for that. Like I wasn't expecting that at all, but I knew something had to be with like, okay, they're gonna, release everyone, but this is gonna be that classic, base is blowing up, everyone's trying to escape, they're gonna get them on a ship and fly them out of here. But this is gonna be completely different.
But it almost makes me wish we binged this season. Because now we gotta sit here for a week.
Yeah.
It's true. But it does give us some anticipation of what's coming next, right? And I would be interested to hear what you guys' thoughts are on that as far as, your predictions. Obviously, you said hearts get broken.
Yeah.
My mind right now is like, they're going to find a way to get all the clones and Omega onto some type of ship, and then they're flying them out, and Batch is staying to blow everything up.
Yeah.
That's my early prediction. Like straight up Heavy, dude. We're going straight back to Rookies, the episode of Clone Wars. Heavy's blowing up the base. That's really the only way that I see this ending is
the whole Bad Batch gone.
Maybe I think everyone in the Bad Batch except for maybe one of them.
It's gonna
be like Halo Reach all over again, right?
I can't see. I don't know.
That's where I'm at.
Crosshair's gone. That's how
I think he's gonna die taking out the operative, bro.
Yeah, probably.
They have the
operative's gonna take off its helmet. It's gonna be Crosshair clones looking at each other, and they're gonna die fighting each other, bro.
I don't know, man.
That's my prediction.
Well, and Echo, right? He's such a question mark. He's such
I know.
a question mark.
Me and Lucas were talking about that today. I'm like, Star Wars is gonna bring Echo back so I can live through the heartbreak of him dying again. We have the Citadel all over.
Yeah. But it's gonna be interesting. I wonder if they because I feel like they haven't done anything with Wrecker yet, and so I'm wondering if they either.
Well, in season 1, he was the one attacking them with the chip. That was kind of his big thing with season 1.
Right, and the thing is now he's kind of like always been on Omega's side. he's always kind of like had that special like almost like kid brother sister connection. But I wonder if maybe they're either going to keep him so he'll be the one that you're saying that like is the alive member, and the rest of them are dead, because all of them else have been kind of like father figures to.
No, dude, we know Dave too well, bro. If it's anything, he's killing the gentle giant, bro. He's gonna send Omega off and just like
George.
right, straight up. Yeah, no,
Reach has been good to me.
Yeah, dude, he's gonna die thinking you saved Reach. That's what's gonna happen, bro.
Oh, right.
I don't know. It's gonna be painful, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's Wrecker, maybe Crosshair, maybe. But what if they give Crosshair the redemption and he gets to ride off into the sunset?
It's true. What if they throw a curveball at all of us and be like, everyone's alive? We don't know what's going to happen.
That would be wild. After the series finale of Bad Batch.
That would be such an element.
I know. Save any member. Yeah, we'll save them all except Tech. Screw that guy, bro.
Tech needed to die. Everyone else
surprise. Lucas actually helped them write the last season. He was like, screw that guy, dude. Get Tech out of here.
No way.
Dude, rip Tech, bro. Gosh.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, look at that was. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see what's going on. It's kind of interesting already because the Bad Batch haven't even made it to the base yet, right?
True.
They're still in the middle of the forest, and so it's like.
Do you remember last week we were so concerned about that? Like, they hadn't got the 10th yet. They still.
It's true.
Right.
Echo's the only one who's there.
That's literally my issue.
But I think it's a testament too of. They didn't have to get to the base for Omega to start the operation.
Right, exactly.
And,
it's not like Omega's sitting there twiddling their thumbs.
Yeah, and also they're showing. I've made this comparison, but like the Ezra season 1 to season 4, like Ezra's taking the lead. Not saying she's taking the lead because they're having their whole operation to get her out, right? But she's taking the lead in her own circumstance.
Yeah, they're gonna meet in the middle.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, "We're here to save you." But she's like, "I'm breaking out though."
Oh yeah,
what are you guys doing?
Right.
She's gonna be riding it. She's gonna lasso it. No, but my one thing for this next episode is I hope it's longer.
It will be.
No.
It has to be like at least an hour. I just don't know if they can do
40 minutes. I don't know.
I bet they do us dirty. It's gonna be like 36 minutes.
Yeah, right.
20, you're expecting that
with
the
a
double
5-minute credit.
Yeah, the double feature, and it's like 36 minutes.
Yeah, right. Ugh.
Yeah,
but
no, we need a longer episode to tie everything up. Honestly,
I agree, because this is if you think this is the last episode of Bad Batch. This is it. We're not getting any more.
Yeah.
And so it's like, what? How are they going to tie it off? That's my biggest thing. So, I mean, other than that, I don't have anything else to kind of talk about. Is there anything else that you guys wanted to bring up?
I was so happy to see Echo get a huge role. He's been so dead in the season. Just not even in half the episodes.
Right,
and we were robbed.
Too.
I mean, I don't think this is a hot take. Maybe this is a hot take. I felt like we were robbed of Cody this season. And Wolf. And so the fact that Echo gets a moment, this is kind of his moment.
Right.
I feel like then I was glad for that. I don't know. I thought Cody was not gonna just get the one episode.
I didn't think so either.
I felt like that was more of just a fun cameo for the fans. I would be surprised if they brought Cody back. I feel like that was Disney and Dave Filoni and the Clone Wars era, whatever. I thought that was their nod to hey, he can ride off into the sunset. We don't have to know what happened to him, right? We don't have to kill him in some gruesome way and make him depressing, right? But we don't have to leave him on the snow where he's trying to kill Kenobi, and that's the last, the last moment, right? He was able to go on a dope mission with Crosshair, one of the coolest episodes from last season. But at the same time too, I felt like for me, his story was ended there, right? It's open ended. We don't know where he goes. Could he come back? For sure. But I felt like for them saying, "Oh, he defected, he's gone," was enough kind of closure to be okay, no, he went to find something better than the Empire, and he wasn't just some brainwashed clone, right?
You sound like a 212 stand, bro.
Dude, you know me. I ride with the 501st. Okay, I have the Fortnite skin. Okay, I'm just kidding. Been playing Battlefront 2. Got that 501st skin as well.
Sorry. Go ahead. Finish
and I was just gonna say, I do feel though we were robbed of Wolf. I feel like Wolf was brought in under the pretense of we're gonna see his change and what leads him to Star Wars Rebels, right, with Rex. But he's been gone. So I feel that more for Rex or for Wolf than I do for Cody.
And there's always that season 3 finale of Rebels ending where the Rebel Alliance shows up to save them, like to help out,
True.
right? Or Ezra goes to Mandalore, grabs help, they come fight.
Right.
Season 1 ending of Rebels, they bring in the Rebel fleet to come help.
Yeah.
There's always that chance that Hunter's been talking to Rex or whatever,
Yeah.
and they're going to come in and help. Do I think that they should? No.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe unless they execute it really well. But, I agree. Like, I think Wolf was...
Yeah. I mean, I think... there's no way Dave Filoni's just going to leave that open-ended, with Wolf at least, right? But if they're going to create... Maybe that'll be the next Tales of the Clones or something, right?
Tales of the Rebellion.
Tales of the Rebellion
Right.
or something.
Tales of the Jedi.
Which
Tales
we
of the
could
Empire.
see that, like, maybe Cody does make an appearance in that too, right? Because if you're going to have a reg like Wolf, how are you not going to have Cody as well? You could have Cody in there as well. So, I don't know. A lot of interesting thoughts and theories. All right, so how about we go ahead and end this, or rate each of our episodes. So, we'll start off with you, Jake.
Yeah, obviously I think it was a great episode. I'd go a lot higher. I give this a 9.25 out of 10. This one had a big jump for me. I think I love the action
I
sequences.
would love to see the scale of your ratings.
Oh, for sure.
Like, have you ever given something a 9?
Yeah, and
Towards
Ahsoka, probably. Or,
for sure. In Bad Batch,
Bad Batch.
I think at the beginning of the season, I had a couple 9s.
Okay.
One or two.
Okay.
It's been slow for me the past few episodes. Yeah. This was a big jump for me. Again, we make the comment they haven't actually made it to Tantus base yet, but I feel like the aspects of the episode really delivered for me. In action, we have boots on the ground on the planet now. Omega's working on her end, and we had excellent communication between Echo and Emery, and that's something I've been waiting for the whole season, is what's Emery's role going to be. And I feel like we saw that change. We see Echo's character development, so I thought it was a great episode.
Nice. Yeah, so I am a 9.5.
Wow.
So I loved last episode. I think I gave that an 8.75. This one even better than that, 9.5. Praying the next episode's a 10.
It's gotta be.
I just think the execution, if we sat down and binged the last two and the next episode, I think it would be hitting the money 100%. And because we have to wait, obviously we judge something with what we only get to see right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm trying to get the full picture. And so with that in mind, I just don't think it missed on any level for what it offered. Now, we just speculated on Wolf or Cody or whatever. Obviously, there's those outside factors, but for like this episode alone, 9.5. I love you start the episode and the soundtrack changes, and it's like this, more intense, and then it ends with the Lumi medical facility vibe, and like you just know where it's going. And so I think I was locked for 20 whatever minutes it was. So great episode. One of the best of the entire 3 seasons.
Yeah, I mean. I think you can see how the tables have shifted here, because I think I'm going to give it I'm going to give it less than what you guys did. I'm going to go 8.75, because it was still a great episode, and that's probably one of the highest episodes that I've rated so far of the season, but it still left a little bit more to be desired. Like, I'm excited that we kind of have the plan and everything kind of set of how Omega's going to do it, but I'm just it just made me think there's a lot that the next episode's going to have to set up, and if there's not enough time, I feel like they're going to have to rush it, and so that's kind of what made me nervous. And so, which is funny, because then I think about this episode, and there's not really a lot I would, shift around, you know?
You just wished it wasn't the 14th episode. You wish it was
the 13th or 12th.
Yeah. Exactly. If it was the 13th episode, that would have been perfect, because then the next episode would have been okay, we're starting to ramp up, and then given enough time for something crazy to happen so that they can have to adapt, or they have to covert something, right?
Yeah.
Because you're left thinking, oh, what's going to happen, right? Something bad has happened, but they're going to, restore it in the end.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, it's okay, there's a lot riding on episode 15.
So do you still think that this show is ending on Tantus?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, but that's the thing. It's
do you think it is?
I mean, the first episode of the first season was an hour and 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
If they did the same thing for the finale, there is a great argument that it does not end on Tantus.
That's true.
Now, if it's 20 minutes, it's ending on Tantus.
Right.
But if it's 45,
I would think if it's 40, the majority of the episode has to be on Tantus.
Yeah.
Right. And it could be a last few minutes where it's kind of laying all the tiles flat, right? It's where everything's kind of going to that new normal we're going to be living with after episode 15. So
burying the dead.
I hope not.
You'll bring that one up.
But yeah, so 8.75 for me. So Okay,
Awesome. We'll catch y'all on the next one.
Catch us in the next one.